Hey, this is Obelisk speaking, doing a One Piece chapter review 1016. It's me, Otama, and we pretty much guess what this chapter is about. The cover page is Zoro as a ninja, and there's a ninja cat, and apparently the premise is this of them avoiding getting speared. I guess they got found out. It's pretty hilarious, and he still has 3 swords. So. Where's his kunai? Zoro, pretty cool. So where do we start off in this chapter? And we start off surprisingly in Wano. We see the old hag who trained Robin to be a geisha. We see Otoko. I think the little girl, the one that's always laughing, which is annoying. But then again, it's a kind of disease from the devil fruit. And we see the guy with the long nose, which is, I believe his name was Tengoyama. And they're pretty much stating like the fire, the bigger the flame, the higher it could reach, like the lost souls, I guess. And they're saying that it's how clear the sky looks, and that's about to change relatively soon. And we immediately go back into Wano. We see the skull. I wonder where that other piece of the horn fell. And we shift back to CP0. And CP0 being informed, and they're giving precise numbers here. And they're being, the numbers are flipped, but this is pre-Otama. So that means Otama hasn't given the command, so they hasn't flipped yet. So these numbers are going to change. But then again, do these numbers really matter? Can't Luffy or Kaido just use their King Haki and like knock out most of them? Like, I don't know. It's weird. But then again, in Marineford, when Luffy used his King Haki unknowingly, he did affect both sides of the field. So that means not only he cannot, that maybe this is the reason they don't use it, because it's not targeted. And we also see that in Marineford, if I recall, there were some soldiers who were just shaking. They didn't actually get 100% passed out, so they were just like shaken to their knees. So it probably won't be that effective. And then again, we also don't know how much Haki consumption it actually takes to use King's Haki in that form, I guess. Because now there's another form, equipping it to attack. And we see the Squirrel Girl. I'm gonna call the Squirrel Girl, and she's relaying information. And this is the first time we see some sort of emotion out of her, and she seems really cheerful to break the enemy's spirits by revealing that Momonosuke is presumably dead, which he's not dead. And then we go back to this, and I guess Oda is hellbent on doing this and somehow giving a half-ass an observed explanation as to how this happened. So apparently Zeus fused with Nami's baton, and now it's pretty much permanent. So Nami just got a buff, even a greater buff than she had before, apparently. And Zeus states that he can't go back without Mama's powers. So it's a permanent, or until Big Mom dies. So Zeus should fade away if Big Mom dies, period. And I guess, my opinion with this, I think this is bad. Like, there could have been other ways to give her power up. Why not wait later on and like literally infuse the devil fruit into her baton? Wouldn't that be more useful? And it would be less like controversial. Because this whole sequence, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of pointless. And then we go back to the even more pointless stuff here. Well, it's not some pointless. So the Squirrel Girl's Bohan, or the Squirrel Girl, is about to broadcast. So she opened a channel up. And before we know it, we see legs here. And Usopp gets headbutted. Not full power here, but he gets headbutted. And we know who that headbutt is. and it's Ulti. Ulti is just impressive here. She survived that attack and she's up on her feet. Not only is it a testament to Ulti, but to her devil fruit powers. And we see her clothes all ripped up. Sexy Ulti here. And she actually grabs Otama. She's pissed. She's the reason. And she believes that Otama's also manipulating Big Mom. So in a way, that's good. But Ulti is so weakened here. She's one hit away. So this to me, is this the conclusion of Ulti? Because if it is, this is a really pathetic conclusion. You're telling me you had to bring in a Yonko in order to weaken Ulti to be able to give Nami a victory? Like, that is so disappointing. This means nothing to me. But let's go on. And apparently Nami's Batanka, and like I said, it's a buff. It's a even greater buff. Her baton can literally transform into things, into shapes now. And she turns some sort of mace, pretty much like Kaido's mace, but like a whip mace like her. And she hits Ulti in the head, but Ulti doesn't even phase. And even Zeus states that she's really tough on the surface, but she also states that the insides are pretty weakened because of Big Mom's attack. And one good attack will do it. And we see somehow Usopp is conscious after receiving a headbutt. But then again, this is weakened Ulti, so that's not a full power headbutt. And Usopp pulls a pretty good move here. He separates Otama from Ulti. And that's where Nami charges the attack. And that's pretty hilarious. I guess Zeus tells Nami to give him an A because he's been reborn. And she calls him Fluff. And pretty much Zeus just tells her, yeah, like, nah, I'm not digging that name. And he's like immediately back to Zeus. Yep, I'm Zeus. Whatever. The mighty right arm of Nami, prepare for pain. My God. And she does a lightning blast. And Ulti, even in a weakened state, she's dodging lightning. But just like I figured, this is a greater power up. And the lightning is homing lightning. So now it has lock-on capabilities. It'll hit the target and Ulti gets hit. We see happening. And Ulti falls. We see her, but this happened before. I'm hoping she gets back up. And what happened here is kind of hilarious too, because Boahang is also transmitting, and she states that 2 Toby Ropas are down, and all the soldiers are like, "What's going on? We're losing. That's never happened before." So the morale now has switched from the morale of the Straw Hat Alliance and all of them going down to now the morale of Kaido's troops going down. And we see, oh, this horse dude, Jesus Christ, didn't notice him. And we see Sasaki, he's back in his regular form, which is strange. And he's all bruised up. And then we see Who's Who, and Who's Who is smoking a cigarette, which is indicating, I don't know, he's not having a hard time maybe. But he is scuffed up, so that's that. And then we see Black Maria, which is a fight I want to see. And she looks a little scuffed up too. But she doesn't seem to be like, in a concerning manner, scuffed up, I would say. Not like Ulti. And Boahang gets captured. And then I guess Otama starts to transmit. Can Boahang just cut off the transmission? I'm pondering here, since her little minions are robots, is Boahang a robot herself? Is she like a cyborg? Which is strange. And then we got Queen, and Queen's like a half human, half cyborg, or whatever he is. I don't know what he is. And everyone's getting and this is, I guess, when the power shift is gonna shift here for the troops. And then we go back to where we left off, but they're not fighting. which is strange. And I guess Kaido states here, you shouldn't protect what's important. He's stating Strawhead's dead and Kozuki Oden is dead, which is not the case. And Kaido's in his dragon form looking menacing as always. And he says, impotent child, so you got your cuffs off, so now you think you can leave? And Yamato states something which I like. Yes, I'm going out to sea with Luffy, but only after I've driven you out of Wano. And this implies that Yamato does not wish to kill Kaido. She just, I guess, wants her freedom. That's what she wants. Or he. No, you know what? She's a girl. That's what she wants. She wants her freedom and her independence. And I guess Kaido, in a way, is an overprotective father who just wants to control every aspect of her daughter. But then again, he's put up with her Odin phase, so he is kind of an understanding father too. But I wonder him being like this is because the mother's not around. We also have to wonder, why does Kaido want to die so bad? And then we get to see Kaido state something interesting here. That he's not settling for anywhere else because it's Wano. So Kaido's implying, I don't think he's implying it's Wano's. Well, Wano is special because there's a lot of history and lore behind it. But could it be something personal for him? I mean, like something else. Because you could say, like say Blackbeard. If Blackbeard's interested in Wano, but he's mostly would be interested in the history and whatever knowledge is offering. But what about Kaido? What if Kaido's interested in it's something personal? Something to do with his past? And he states there's no way in which you can beat me, Yamato. And he still wants her to become the Shogun. Which is like, and she says, I refuse already. And she starts sweating, and you see she gets serious. And she knows she can't win. And this pretty much implies that Yamato has probably challenged her father several times, and she's probably gotten the beat down by him. Period. There's a reason she's strong, and it's probably because of the constant beatings of Kaido. But then again, he's probably training. And she states, Luffy is the man Kozuki Oden has been waiting for, and until he returns, I'm going to hold you back. And this is important. So I believe what she's stating. She believes Luffy is Joy Boy, and she's going to return, which he is. And then Kaido states, don't assume I'll go easy on you, Yamato. Which he will. It's his daughter. He's not going to kill his daughter, especially after the statement, like, become the Shogun of Wano. Like, Kaido doesn't want to become the Shogun. He wants his daughter to become the Shogun. Like, this is also indicating how much faith he has in her, too. And we see a massive clash here. Now, it's uncertain whether Yamato is using King Haki, but I believe just because of the size of these sparks, and honestly, I don't think not even Luffy has done a clash like this big. So, I'm assuming Yamato has King's Haki, period. Which would also indicate what is her, like, she wants to set sea with Luffy, but what is her end goal? Not just set in sea. She's probably after something too out there in the world. So she probably has a goal. Because we see Katakuri also has King Haki. So, but it's never really stated. I don't recall it stated, like, what's his true goal. Like, he has a real ambition. Because he follows Big Mom and he's loyal to Big Mom. So, I believe Yamato, if she does join, because it's not set, even though she stated it's not set in stone, but she's a stubborn one, so she might just follow Luffy, period, and that's it. Because she's like an Ace character. She's like, in a way, she resembles Ace, so she's stubborn. She's gonna just do what she does. So I believe she does have King Haki, and I'm really hoping that next week we get to see a full-fledged fight with them, with Kaido and her. But then again, we might not. Because in last chapter we ended with them eyeing each other. Now they're still eyeing each other. So we'll see what happens. Do I think this is a good chapter? I believe the story is progressing, even though we are skipping fights. I believe we're gonna skip fights because we see Black Maria scuffed up. Who's who? And Sasaki scuffed up, and Sasaki is no longer in his dinosaur form. So that means, and he's neither in his hybrid form. So, and you have to also think Black Maria is not in her hybrid form either, nor in her full tarantula form. She's like a in-betweener. And I wonder if Oda did this to preserve the aesthetic of, the female figure. And he probably did, which is good in a way. But what do I think? The whole Nami thing and Ulti, I feel bad Ulti because there was no reason for her to get up. Because this is not a legitimate win, period. So, that's that. As for the Otama plot hole, I believe Otama's purpose and existence is a controversy itself. The reason is Otama was specifically created to hinder and help the Straw Hats. There's no other true value for her. Unless it's revealed she's some sort of daughter of someone important, then we shift the dynamic here. And then we have to wonder who gave her that devil fruit in the first place. But then again, it doesn't work on Zoan, so her devil fruit's pretty weak if you ask me. But it could work on animals, so not so weak. I wonder if it'll work on one of those giant sea kings. What if it would work on Zunisha? Imagine that. Holy crap. That's some devastating power if you think about it. If she makes Zunisha eat this, that means she has full control of it. What if she starts flirking a lot of these to the sea kings and they start eating them? That's a pretty devastating power here. Well, an animal, but then again, Zunisha could be one-shotted, I think. Pretty much, I think Diablos, Kizaru could probably one-shot Zunisha. KAIDO could probably one-shot Zunisha. So it's not that big of a threat. Anyway, that's a good chapter. Thanks for watching. Peace out and have a nice day.